Hey guys, welcome back, and it is a horrible day here in Tampa, and I was like, yes, just get up and be really happy and go have a good workout. So I'm like marching over to the gym and it's getting wetter and wetter, and then by the time I get to the gym, it's like, you know when you've just like been in the shower and you've got just rat hair everywhere, and I kind of stand at the door and I open it up and this person's like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. So I had a really fun morning. I take like 2 showers, washed my hair twice, not intentionally, but you know, I was really trying to make the most of a crappy day. Anyway, this past week has been a bit of a whirlwind. I feel like every day is a whirlwind, but it was very productive, got quite a few things done. So wanted to talk briefly about the 16-week diet and lifestyle remodel challenge, because this week is the final week for you guys to actually sign up and register and be a part of that challenge. So each year we have 2 of these remodels, and the one at the beginning of the year is usually the biggest, and we also have a huge cash prize available for the grand prize winner. So one of the things that I really love about the diet and lifestyle remodel, and this is our 8th annual remodel now, is that there is an opportunity for anybody, no matter where you are along your health and fitness journey, to participate and potentially win. So we have a category for fat loss. Of course, there's going to be many of you that are really striving to get back to your perhaps pre-2021 December body after some nice relaxing fun times over the holidays. But also there are going to be many of you that just aren't ready or in a position, metabolically speaking, to diet. And for many of you, I know that the thought or the idea of reverse dieting is very intimidating. So we actually have an entire category kind of dedicated for these people to kind of dip their toe in the water and just give it a go with the guidance and the support of our coaching team. So not only that, there is also a building category. So I know there's a lot of fellas out there who've done their shreds, they've got lean, and they're like, ooh, I gotta put on some muscles. So we've also got a category for muscle building too. And in fact, I think a lady won the muscle building category last year. So it's such an awesome opportunity. You're not just getting told, do this and that's it. There's so much education and learning built into this program. So your coaches are going to be spending a whole lot of time. They get video contact with you. It's not just, here's a plan, here's some diet that you've got to follow, and there's nothing else, no context provided. It's a very intimate experience where you really get to kind of work on and identify, some of your personal limitations, and then how you can kind of change those behaviors and build in some new ones. This would be the opportunity to do it, because not only do you have the support of one of our coaches, but you're also getting the opportunity to win a huge cash prize. And then at the very end, we have a huge get together with all of the participants that have been involved in the challenge and all of the Team Violin coaches too. So lots of fun to be had there. I just wanted to remind you, because we've only got 3 days now. I think this sign up period kind of ends this Friday, and it starts on Monday the 31st of January. So do not miss out on that opportunity. So I wanted to briefly talk a little bit about, I guess, my personal goals, what's been happening for me this last week, and what my intentions are also moving forwards. And I think if I was to reflect on maybe, the last 5 years of my own personal journey through health and fitness, I think, in 2015, 2016, I had such a strong focus and desire to be stage lean. That was all I wanted to do. That was really where I was investing a lot of my time and effort. But I also know I was investing 0 time in myself, my self-care routine, and my mental health. They could not have been more polar opposite. So, I think as I kind of started to realize that through the year 2019, or just after I'd finished competition, into 2020 when we had COVID, that was really the opportunity for me to kind of take a step back and go, oh, I was really skewed in this extreme direction with competing, and I'd actually like to start working on my mental health. And then obviously my physique kind of went the other way. So I've gone from extreme leanness to, I'm actually just gonna try and let go of that. And I found that to be incredibly valuable and almost necessary for me to kind of get out of my own way, because so many things, foods specifically, for so long had kind of been put up on this, hierarchy. They were the it and the bit, like, this is the food that if I absolutely have this, I know I cannot control myself around it. I don't trust myself. It was just a very toxic relationship that I had with food. So I almost kind of had to let it be, like let those things come in, have them, enjoy them, to kind of get it out of my system. It was like they were, put up so high on this pedestal for such a long time that I needed to kind of bring them back down to make them normal again. So now that I've kind of gone through that, I guess the other thing that's kind of transitioned for me is business. So that's almost kind of skewed back on this fairly extreme level, and I've been able to at least identify that, hey, this is a huge amount of work that I've been doing lately, and I can see my physical health, my physical body, and my mental health getting back to a place that I'm not necessarily, happy with. There isn't enough balance there. So what I was thinking about was, if I had a more balanced approach, what would that look like? And I think for me, at the moment, I know I need to back down on the amount of work that I've been doing and make time for those self-care routines again, and make sure that my mental health is in a good place. And I think that for me right now looks like perhaps giving a little bit more time to my physical training, because last week I didn't get to train until Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I was so busy, I had so much on my plate that I'd get up, I'd do all my emails, and by the time I'm ready to go to the gym, I've got 10 emails that I need to respond to that are fairly urgent. I've got to do these commitments, these obligations, and I just had to be like, I'm not gonna have time to drive to the gym and get back and, be ready for the next thing. So I just didn't train. So the consequence, I think, over the last couple of, I'm gonna say months, is that my weight has, and you guys have probably seen it if you follow along in my series, it has started to creep back up because I have continued to hit the same kind of calories. Of course, there's been a couple of weeks where, I've gone maybe 100 or 200 over my normal maintenance. But because my energy expenditure has been notably lower, of course my weight's gonna go up a little bit. So I think for me, restricting my calories right now doesn't feel like the right thing to do. I don't want to get back into that, restriction mindset. So rather, I think I just need to find a little bit of a better balance between my workload and then making time for physical activity and just good nutrition and things that are, nutrient rich, that are, helping my body perform optimally. That's where I'm going to start. I think just really trying to kind of get things back into balance, and then if my weight doesn't kind of settle back down to the place that I was feeling really comfortable at, which is around 65 kilos, then I think what I will do is perhaps a couple of weeks on a slightly lower calorie intake, nothing crazy, and just commit to a little bit more cardio. At the moment, my training schedule is just 4 days of the week. And then I do one 20 or 30 minute high intensity interval training session. And then with that, I've been aiming for around 10,000 steps per day, but some days, like the mornings where I haven't been able to even get into the gym to do a walk, it's like 5,000 steps, which is so low. So, I think I'll probably look to add a little bit more, over the weekend, if I can get some time to kind of get myself back to that place. The other thing that I've been toying with is the idea of getting back into the bikini world. So obviously you guys know that I have competed as a fitness model competitor for the WBFF for the last couple of years. That still requires quite a lot of muscle mass, in my opinion. So, if I wanted to be able to maintain a body weight that is a little more realistic based on my schedule, I don't know that I'm truly comfortable, because if you've got a lot of muscle and you do have a little bit of body fat, which is perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, I do feel a little bulkier, if that makes sense. So if I didn't have quite as much muscle and I was a little bit smaller, I may feel, a little bit more dainty and feminine, like all those things, because I don't at that current level of muscularity. So I thought as a good motivator, I do like to have goals. I'm definitely someone that's really competitive. Competitive with myself more than anything. When I don't have a goal, I feel a little bit lost. I'm sure some of you can kind of relate to that. It's like when you don't really know what you're kind of working towards, it's like, oh, well, what's the point, you know? I know that that is probably a little bit of an extreme mindset, if I'm being honest, but I do think it's important to have goals. So part of me also has considered getting back on stage around the middle of the year and doing some of the A.P.D Bikini Competition. So I believe I have to consult with my people to decide whether or not that's something that I should do, because the reality is it's a lot of commitment. And I think for someone like me who's not just doing it for fun, like it's a hard goal, and when I have a goal, like I'm going in there to do the best of my ability that I'm truly capable of. And I know what I'm capable of, and it's pretty high up there. So I think what I'm kind of looking for is seeking the permission of all the people in this office to make sure that it is the best use of my time. Is it something that we can, incorporate into our business? Because at the end of the day, it's 20 hours a week, give or take, in the gym or preparing meals, just making sure that you're kind of set up and you have your plan for the week. So it is quite time consuming, and I've got to make sure that it does fit in with the direction and the goals of our company. So I'm trying to make sure that those things align. So that's kind of the big meeting for me this week with the rest of our team, to make sure that that's something I should do. So with that being said, I'd love to go in and show you all of my data for this past week with my nutrition. And I do have something specific that I wanted to show you in regards to dietary fiber and my body weight. So if you want to stick around for that video, I'm actually going to be recording another video here in a moment, which is part of my weekly check-in or my weekly update. So if you want to see that, go and check out that video.